So the Egyptians had something interesting. They had what's called alveolar teeth prognathism. So it wasn't that the jaw was protruded forward, it was the teeth that instead of going like this, the teeth was out this way. So when their lips cover their teeth, the teeth is going this way, so the lips come out a little bit. And then when they had what was an angular mandible, meaning the angle of the mandible went backwards. True prognathism is maxillary, meaning maxilla, and mandibular prognathism of the jaw. So this is an Egyptian skull. So these guys right here have it. If you take his lip and lift it up, you'll see his teeth is going this way, not down, going this way. And if you look at his chin, you'll see his chin is either straight down or going back. I'm going to show you. And then here's another guy. These guys are basically Somalians, people that live in East Africa. And you can see they have longer head shapes. A lot of people in East Africa have long skulls. Long skulls. Negroes have more rounded, robust skulls. You see slim face. You see the nose pattern. You see the jaw. There's also Somali and Beja people right here. All right? Somalians with no prognathism like the ancient Egyptians. Go straight down, the lips right here, the jaw, the mandible is behind the red line. Okay? This is other Egyptians, Sequonteri, Atala II, and you'll see here on his skull, you see the teeth is going forward and the angle of the mandible is going back. Strongly prolific incisors, rounded forehead, sagittal flattening, rounded occiput. Alveolar or teeth prognathism. All right, and this is going to show you two moles the first, two moles the second, two moles the first. You'll see angles of the jaw going back. This is all oral maxillofacial analysis that can prove that we're not Egyptian. This is the jaw, this is the maxilla, the mandible. Now it's like we're in school now, learning biology. This is alveolar prognathism, what the ancient Egyptians had, teeth going forward. This is true prognathism right here of the maxilla, mandible. Now let's see what the Negro has. The Negro, which is Bantu people, African Americans, you have true protrusion of the maxilla and the mandible, not just the teeth, but the whole jaw is going forward. Caucasians also have straight line down. Here you see the prognathism of people like in Cush and the Canaanites. Here we see a Negro. You'll see that it goes forward. The face is wider, the nose. It's not as long as East Africans. This is also in the Congo, Bantus, it says Bantus, Congo. You see prognathism in the jaw, right here. Congo, prognathism in the jaw. You don't see a long skull, you see a more rounded skull from the side and from the front. Congo, prognathism in the jaw. They also filed their teeth down, just also seen in other native tribes. This is also a Bantu's person, a Negro in the Sudan. This is a Congo Negro. This is an Nilonic Kushite Negro. You see the roundness of the face versus the slenderness of the face. Y'all see that? How the face is more rounder, it's more slender. If you do a side angle, you see that his skull is more longer. This is a guy also from the Congo. Congolese, Bantus man. Looks like a typical black man. He has prognathism on the jaw. So when you look at the black skulls, you look at European, Egyptian skulls, you'll find different things. And what they do is they term it as either prognathis or dolichocephalism or orthogonathism. So when you look at the Canaanites, this is interesting too, because you have the pygmies. Okay, so they have a term called brachycephalic. It is a jaw that is vertically on the same line as the forehead, like Europeans. This is called orthogonathism. This is like the Egyptians. But when you look at this guy right here, his name was Lucien Bartholin. He was a founder of the Institute of Carthage in Tunisia. And he found that the majority of the skulls in Tunisia, Carthage, Phoenicia is a Greek term for the Canaanites. So we know about Hannibal. Anybody know about Hannibal? Hannibal, Tunisia, okay. So when they tested the skulls in Tunisia, they said Tunisia and Carthage was a Phoenician place, so a lot of Phoenicians were there. So the skulls they found out were Negroid. These cemeteries, Negroid. So knowing that the Phoenicians and Canaanites were great merchants and civilizers, have been everywhere on the Mediterranean Sea, they found their skulls everywhere. The description of other anthropologists, such as Eugene Pittard, founder of the Museum of Ethnography, first awarded the anthropology at Geneva University. He found the skulls were compressed on the temples in almost rhomboid form, very prominent dental apparel, well conditioned. They are dolic, colcephalic, and prognathic. So the people that have dolic, colcephalic, and prognathic skulls or jaws are the pygmy people. The pygmy people. So the ancient Phoenicians or Canaanites are the pygmy people. The pygmy people. So a lot of times we read our Bible, we say Jebusites, Amorites, Zittites, Hittites, all these different things. The Bible talks about the children of Israel marrying with the Canaanites. In Judges 3, Ezra 9, over 1,000 years. You see that the Bantus Negro, Bakongo, you'll see that his DNA is seen in the mix of the pygmy people. This is the pygmy man from the Batubi tribe. And so you look at the pygmy DNA. The pygmy DNA is classically Y DNA B, 59%, 53%. Why does he have the DNA also of the so-called Negro? Because over time, over 1,000 years, we were mixing with the Canaanites. We were mixing with the Canaanites. And that's why the skulls they found in the ancient areas of Carthage, Tunisia, going all the way to North Africa to Spain, were the skulls of the pygmy people. The pygmy people. They had skulls in the Journal of Anthropology of the Central African Pygmies in the Belgian Congo by Paul Shabesta, described the pygmy's jaw and head shape as being dolichocephalic and prognathic, just like what they found in Tunisia or the Phoenicians. And so he said that in the museum that Carthage, Tunisia remembered the most magnificent sarcophagus of the priest of Tanit. He said that the woman that was buried here presented Negroid features. She was of the African race. This is a picture of a Canaanite, a Phoenician, in Israel that they found. They have it in different museums, like in Haifa, Israel. They don't want black people to see what the Canaanites and Phoenicians look like, because the Israelites mixed with the Canaanites and Phoenicians. So that's why when you debate Jewish rabbis, you say, well, didn't the Israelites mix with the Egyptians and the Canaanites and the Cushites? And they say yes. Weren't they black? If they say yes, they were black, then how come their DNA doesn't prove that they've been mixing with all these black nations? How come their skulls and their skin color doesn't prove all of this? Their hair texture, their eye color, none of that. So when you look at the Shemitic people of Israel, you'll see it doesn't look like Europeans. And this is the oldest skull that was found, dated back many, many years ago, was found in Israel, in a place called Qafzeh, Qafzeh. And it's a Negro skull. If you go straight down, you'll see it as prognathic. And Carthage was a city, Phoenician city of Tyre in the 9th century BC. They worshiped the gods of the Canaanites, such as Baal and Melkart. So you know about Baal, right? Baal and the Canaanite gods. Here goes Tyre, here goes Canaan. Tyre is part of Canaan until onto Egypt. And here goes the Phoenicians or the Canaanites worshiping Baal or Melkart, the Canaanite god of the storms. And other anthropological researchers also proved that the skulls found in Carthage, meaning the Phoenicians and the Canaanites, were people of those found with the Negroid pygmy population. They found these skulls also in Lebanon, which is also ancient days a part of the Canaanite territory before the Israelites took it, and they had the tribe of Asher and other nations. If you look at the 12 tribes of Israel territory, Lebanon is also a part, I think, of the tribe of Asher and Naphtali. So actually, the Jews don't really have all the land. They don't have all the land. Lebanon is part of it, Jordan is part of it as well. And so when they go in and look at the pygmy tribes and say that these guys are indigenous, they don't really understand that these are actual biblical people, the Canaanites, the Cushites, the Egyptians. You see orthoprognathous Egyptians. You see that they don't have the prognatism of the jaw. This is a man in Egypt. This is also people you'll see also in Central Africa with Egyptian features. And I think we're kind of Okay, no slide information. Is this too much? Not too much? Okay. All right, so a lot of times we talk about the Tutsi Jews. The Tutsi Jews have a history of mixing with the ancient Egyptians and the Cushites. So they call them the Jews of Cush. Their DNA shows the same thing. They have what they call is, the Tutsi language is called the Tutsi, which was the African Jewish lingua franca of the Kitara Hebrew Empire. The empire of the Kether, which is the crown in Hebrew. The Tutsi spoken by the Tutsi Jews is a Hebrew Cushitic language, similar to Yiddish, because Yiddish is a mixture. But Yiddish is a mixture of Germanic, Slavic, and Hebrew. Germanic, Slavic, Turkish, and Hebrew. That's what Yiddish is. Ladino is Spanish and Hebrew. Yvonic is Greek and Hebrew. The Tutsi Jews speak a language that's a mixture of the Cushitic language and Hebrew. That's why they're called the Jews of Cush. So when you look at King Solomon, Queen Sheba, you look at the Tutsi Jews are also called the Yashar, the righteous, upright ones. The Tutsis used to display a high sense of justice using the Mosaic law as a law of codes. And so when you look at the flag of Burundi, it represents 3 Jewish kingdoms that succeeded after the death of King Solomon. The first star represents the kingdom of Judah, the second star represents the kingdom of Israel, and the third star represents the kingdom of Cush. Because we have Rwanda, Burundi is where the Tutsi Jews live at. And according to history, the Tutsi Jews were massacred during that time in Rwanda. If you look at the movies and stuff about Rwanda. And so here we see beyond the rivers of Ethiopia, you see Uganda, Lake Victoria, now river going down. And then you see Rwanda and Burundi right here. Just like the Bible says, beyond the rivers of Ethiopia, my worshipers, my suppliants shall bring me offering. So the Bible wasn't lying when it said beyond the rivers of Ethiopia, that the Israelites in Uganda, Kenya, Kikuyu, Kisikamba, Luyo, Muiru, Baganda, Tanzania, Sukuma, the Tutsis, the Kikongo, Baluba, all these different tribes, Zambia as well, Mozambique, were all Israelites. They basically scattered from Egypt to Sudan into this region right here. I think there's a lot of information. We're going to run around and applause. That's all we call for I know y'all may be saying, man, that's a lot, man. This is a lot. It's a lot. Right? Let me read you something here from Baruch, the 2nd chapter. It's from the Apocrypha. Some of you may not have one. I suggest you get one really soon. You get you a 1611 King James Bible. The Apocrypha was 14 books of the Old Testament. Was in it. It wasn't until around 1878 that the Protestant church said that we need to take it out. What happened around that time? Our ancestors came off plantations. So they had to get this out of your Bible so that you would have access. So I strongly suggest that you go and get you one. But I'm going to read this out of Baruch, the 2nd chapter. And look at what it says here. Therefore, the Lord have made good on his word, which renounced against us, against our judges and that judge Israel, and against our kings and against our princes, and against the men of Israel and Judah, to bring upon us great plagues, such as never happened under the whole heavens, as it came to pass in Jerusalem, according to the things that were written in the law of Moses. Brother Ron went through Deuteronomy 28, showing you all those different things, and showing you the verses in which that match. You see in the Apocrypha, Baruch, who was living around the time of the Persian captivity, said that these things are going to happen. But this is what he also said, going down to verse 27. He says, O Lord our God, thou hast dealt with us after all thy goodness, and according to thy great mercy of thine. As thou spakest by the servant Moses, in the day when thou didst come to command him to write thy law before the children of Israel, saying, If ye will not hear my voice, surely this great multitude shall be turned into a small number among the nations where I shall scatter them. For I knew that they would not hear me,
because of the stiff-necked people. But listen to this. But in the land of their captivities, they shall remember themselves. That's what he said. Verse 31. And shall know that I am the Lord their God, for I will give them a heart and a ear to hear. So you think y'all got here by on your own? That you seen a flyer? That you seen a thing on Facebook? No. It was the Holy Spirit gathered you. He leads you to this place. But look at what he said. Verse 32. And they shall praise me in the land of their captivity, and think upon my name, and return from their stiff-neck and from their wicked deeds, for they shall remember the ways of their fathers, which have sinned before the Lord. You think it's a coincidence that this morning you was in here saying, praise Yah? That you were saying hallelujah? No, the Most High knew it. This was written 500 years before the birth of Christ. He said, in the land of their captivities, they shall remember themselves. Are we in the land of our captivity? Do you know who you are this morning? This afternoon? I asked y'all last night, I'm going to ask again. Say it with me. We are the children of Israel. So we're about to break for lunch. Brother Bob has an announcement for lunch or something.
Hallelujah. Are you enjoying this time? Hallelujah. From the beginning to this point right here, it's truly been a blessing. And I am truly grateful to be a part of it. And I want to take 1 minute to do one thing really, really quickly. Because there is a set of gentlemen that work really hard to put everything together. And they told me not to say anything and not to let y'all know who did it, but I'm going to be rebellious. They worked hard, and I want everyone to recognize the brothers who came together, and Ron sent out a text message and said, I want to come to North Carolina. Can we make it happen? And there was a few gentlemen who responded, and we came together, and we're here. And so, Brother Chris. Mr. Lavander. Brother Coleman. Pastor Douglas. I had something to do with it. And what I'm telling you is this, we didn't want to charge for the event to come, but the event cost. We're here at a cost. We had to get these guys, we had to pull them away from their families. Ron brought his entire family with him. They're not able to be here, but they are here. And so we want to be a blessing to these guys for coming, taking that time off of work, literally time off of work. I'm not speaking figuratively, literally money that's not being made to be here today. Not necessarily because they wouldn't be working today, but y'all know what I mean. He's been on the road since Wednesday. So you're talking Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday that he came. And we brothers came together and said, it doesn't matter, we'll put the money up, whatever needs to be paid for, we'll pay for it up front. And when we get there, we know the brethren will make sure that it's all well. So with that said, we're gonna break for lunch, and we purchased already before Shabbat came in, items for those who requested to have lunch provided. That lunch is available for those people. You know who you are. If you're not certain of who you are, see me. But for anyone who has already reserved lunch, it is ready. Now, what we do know is that there's a lot of people that they're traveling and this and that. So what we also did was prepared, and we just kind of purchased a bunch of snacks and waters and different things that can be available to anyone. And so we didn't want anybody to be hungry because we're here all day. But again, we had to be prepared for 500 people who registered. We couldn't just buy enough food for every single person, which is why we did it by reservation. So for those who did reserve, you head to the back here through these doors. They're waiting for you. If you are in a position where you did not reserve, you did not bring anything to eat, then again, please let those who have paid for the food go through and get their food. And whatever is left over, we ain't taking none of it home. Okay? And so even after we get finished, we're going to put some snacks in the lounges. So there'll be some snacks for anybody as we go throughout the day, because we're here for quite some time. So, a couple of hours, kids get restless, you kind of get restless, and so you can go and eat at the lounges and also in the back, and we'll have little nabs and stuff like that a couple hours after lunch, so that sort of thing. The only other thing, so please, if you brought your lunch or whatever, do not eat anything in the sanctuary. So you have the foyer, you have the lounges, you have back here, we have tables and chairs set up back there. It's not a huge area, but also, of course, you have outside. If you want to hang out by your car, anything is fine. But just whatever you do, please clean up behind yourself and make it a little bit easier on the people who are helping and volunteering. Which I also did want to recognize, if you see anybody that has this on, you can ask them a question if you have one. And if they don't know the answer, they know who can get you the answer. And so that's why we did that. And I want to say thank you to my MHG family for volunteering to help all the people. So those are the people you see at the doors, those are the greeters, the people saying hello to you. Those are the men who are standing watch and standing guard, helping make sure that we're safe and helping make sure that our property, vehicles, and everything is safe. So thank you, MHG, and those who volunteer. So that's it. We're gonna break. Once we come back, please do. We want to get right back into it. So we're gonna try to time this thing where we're coming back within an hour, 15 minutes or so. If you do need to go and come back, then just kind of keep that in mind. There are some things that are around here, but again, because I know there is a mix of people who will not be included, won't buy on the Shabbat, but there are some that don't mind that. And so there are some things around that need to do that. So with that said, we're going to have a quick word of prayer, close out for this piece, and we're moving and going into the break, fellowship, get to meet your brethren, so on and so forth. One other thing, please be mindful, we're going to have question and answer. We will have question and answer. Please don't bombard these gentlemen while they're just trying to eat. Okay? We're going to have question and answer. So you're going to be asking all the questions you want, but don't do it while they got a sandwich.
I want to say that I don't know how late we're going to be, but I have the first movie. I got a couple of them. I don't have a lot. If anybody wants to get the first movie, they can buy it. And Norman's, the guy that sung Praise God, We the People, he has his CDs as well. He'll have later on this evening or this afternoon, those that want to get it before they go home. They're not going to be here tomorrow on Sunday. But if you want to wait till Sunday, I'll have it there too. And I think Lawrence will be here. Will you be here, Lawrence, on Sunday? No? Okay, so if you want to get the CD A lot of the songs the Lord just sung today, meet up with Lord in the back, and then I'll have myself here later on this evening and then tomorrow.
All right. Oh, also too, I want to put this out here too. For all of y'all who are taking pictures and going live and doing things on social media, make sure you put your things with the hashtag Bible in Black Conference. There's a lot of people that wanted to be a part of it, they couldn't see it, so make sure you put hashtag Bible in Black Conference. So that all stuff can be generated together so people can see what we experienced today. Okay? So if you posted last night, went live last night, go back and put it on there, hashtag Bible in Black Conference. So we keep this thing happening because we're looking to take this thing nationwide. All right? So let's pray. Father God in heaven, we thank you for all that you've deposited on us as before. We ask you, Father God, to grant us grace throughout this break and lunch. We ask you, Father God, to bless the food and bless the resources that provide food and bless the preparers of the food. Allow it to be nourished to our bodies. In Christ's name we pray. Amen. Eat and be merry.
Most times I don't eat on the side.
Oh, okay.
I mean, not all the time I do eat, but sometimes I don't.
Trying to rush to get to this food.